Grand Rising, all kings and queens, all gods and goddesses, all beautiful people. I am Be Floss to God, and today I'm going to be talking about Daniel in the lion's den, right? The powerful meaning behind Daniel in the lion's den. Now, the Bible, right, which is the book of truth, right? That being the book of truth, I don't think it should have people confused, because when it comes to the Bible, so many people are confused, and it was like that at one point too, right? Until they got to know about the law and found out about Neville Goddard and the way how he was breaking it down. He was giving you the meaning behind the actual meaning, because the way how the Bible was written, right? It was basically written in a way to keep us programmed, right? And majority of us, when we read the Bible, we read it on the surface rather than in the depths of it. And as I would have said before, there's a meaning behind the meaning, right? So that's why a lot of people, they would read the Bible and have their own interpretation, or some people would just read the Bible and give up and say, it's nonsense, right? But really and truly, the Bible is the truth, right? But it's just how the way it was written, as I said before, to keep us programmed, right? There's a meaning behind the meaning, right? The truth is there, but it's just you gotta go deeper with it and know how to interpret it. And um once you get familiar with the law, and you know the law, right? The laws of the universe, and getting to know your higher self, right, which is us, right? You will come to find out now, when you read the scriptures now, you will see now how everything makes sense, right? And for those of you, who may not be familiar with Neville Goddard, you can check him out on YouTube as well, right? Where he would break down um, certain different scriptures in the Bible, you know, just to show you that everything is psychological, right? It was not actually people who lived years and years ago, and they don't just go by what I read or what I hear. I go by my experience and what makes sense to me, right? Because for years I was reading the Bible, and like I was like confused, like trying to put two and two together, right? But the way how Neville Goddard explained it, it made perfect sense, right? And everything that he talked about and that I experienced for myself in terms of like using the law and stuff, right? He's on point, right? And the way how he describes the Bible and goes deeper and give you the meaning behind the meaning, when you really check it, it does actually make sense, right? Like everything is psychological. The whole drama is taking place within man. It's taking place within you and I. It isn't men or women who lived thousands and thousands of years ago, who actually did these things. The whole drama is unfolding within each and every one of us. Back then and right now, it's all happening within each and every one of us, right? It's all psychological based, right? But I'm not going to really get so deep into that in this video. I just want to talk about Daniel and the lion's den, right? And that is actually like a metaphor. As I said, it's all psychological based. You are Daniel, right? The lions in the den represent your circumstances in life, the obstacles, you know. So when it said that Daniel was in the lion's den and he turned his back against the lions, right? When he turned his back upon the lions, right? That is actually you turning your back on the circumstances in life, right? And placing your attention on what it is that you want to achieve. Simple as that. Because I don't care how great a man is, right? Or how great the men were back then, or whatever, right? I don't think no man walking this earth now or back then, right, would be so bold and so brave to get thrown into a lion's den, an actual lion's den, and actually turn his back on the lions. Come on, let's just be realistic for a bit, Whether you have super fear for or not, right? There's gonna be, I mean, that you're actually in a lion's den, right? These lions are right there surrounding you, right in front of you. You're in the lion's den, I don't care how much faith you have, right? You're not going to turn your back on these lions. Seriously speaking, let's be realistic for a minute, right? I don't care if you take Mike Tyson and throw him in there. I don't care if you take Arnold Schwarzenegger and throw him in there. I don't care if you take Steven Seagal and throw him in there. I don't care if you take Muhammad Ali and throw him in the lion's den, right? I don't care if you take Bruce Lee or Jet Li and put them in the lion's den. They're not going to turn their back on the lions, right? Even any man that lived back then that who was supposed to be ever so great, right? I don't think they will ever turn their back on the lions in the lion's den, right? So it's all psychological based, right? The lions represent your circumstances in life, the obstacles, or if things may look as though they're the opposite of what it is that you want and that they're not working out. Those are the lions, right? You are Daniel. So today I'm encouraging you to be like Daniel, right? Turn your back on the obstacles. Don't go and turn your back literally on any lions, right? That won't be smart. But as I said, the obstacles and your circumstances are the lions. So, and you are Daniel. So turn your back on the obstacles, turn your back on the circumstances in life, right? And place your attention consistently on that which you want to achieve, right? With your self-concept, all about yourself, your goals that you want to achieve. It doesn't matter what they are. So if you want a yes and they told you no, your no represents the lions. Turn your back on that and focus on the yes. That specific person that you want, but you might think that you are not deserving. You thinking that you are not deserving are the lions. Turn your back on that and place your focus on what it is that you want and that you desire. That job that you want, but you feel that you're not deserving of it. Again, you not being deserving is the lions. Turn your back on that and focus on being deserving of that job, for that job. You want to leave the country that you're in and move to another country and live a luxurious life, but you might be as poor as a church mouse, broke as can be, right? Being broke and being poor, right, are the lions. You turn your back on that. Turn your back completely on that and focus on the desired state. Focus on what it is that you truly, truly want and you desire, right? Now, there are going to be times where you're going to, you might peek back. You might be peeping back at the lions a bit, There's nothing wrong with that. And that meaning, like, wavering. Like, peeping back at the lions is actually, like, wavering or having self-doubt or whatever, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But the main aim is to keep your most dominant attention focused on that you want to achieve in life. Everything that you desire, okay? You are more powerful and greater than these lions. Right? And the more you give focus and attention to that you desire, right? Eventually the lions are going to move. They're going to disappear. Alright? So you are Daniel in the lion's den. Right? Your circumstances and your obstacles, right, are the lions. Turn your back on the circumstances and the obstacles, right? Don't let them treat you any kind of way. Don't let them scare you. Turn your back on that and give full focus and attention on that which it is that you desire and that you want to accomplish, right? Back in the days when our forefathers, the reason why they were so powerful is because they spent more time dwelling within rather than on the outside, right? And I know it's kind of a bit difficult in these times due to the fact that we have all these things, like mankind has evolved, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great, right? We have all these technologies, the social media, we have so much things like the cars, the houses, everything. We have so much things now, like that's up to date that that are distractions, right? So we tend to spend more time focusing on the outer rather than the inner, right? When it should be the other way around, because everything that's on the outer sprang forth from the inner, right? So don't give these circumstances or obstacles no power over you. So if you set the intention for something and you realize like the opposite keep and you realize that the opposite is there, and that's what you are giving your attention to, no. Keep your attention focused on what it is that you desire. Okay? Because the more you give that attention to that thing that's supposed to be the opposite of whatever it is that you try to manifest, because as I said before in my videos, that comes as a test, right? Anything you see, like you set an intention for something, you see in the opposite, right? Don't be discouraged. It's just like a test. But the more you give your attention to that, the more it will expand, right? So that is the lion. Give that your back. Turn your back upon that and keep your focus on the intention that you set for what it is that you desire. Alright? You may not have no money, you may not have this or the other. Somebody tell you no, but you want it to be a yes. Those are the lions. Turn your back on those fully, completely. And keep your focus on whatever it is that you desire. It may not come today, it may not come in the next couple of weeks, it may not come in the next couple of months, it may come in next year. But persist and you stay focused on that. And as I keep saying before, you're going to have times where you're going to waver, you might peek back a bit, you might have a little doubt, and there's nothing wrong with that. But keep your dominant state and your dominant focus and your dominant thoughts and feelings on that which it is that you want to accomplish and that which you want to manifest, and it has no choice but to manifest. Alright? So you are Daniel in the lions den. The obstacles and the circumstances are the lions, right? Turn your back completely on the lions and keep your focus on that which it is that you desire and that you want to manifest. Alright? I am B Floss to God, sending you love, peace, joy, prosperity, and blessings. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so right now. Feel free to click the notification bell as well for more videos to come. And you can also feel free to share my videos as well, right? Feel free to comment, feel free to like. Okay? So remember, you are Daniel in the lion's den. The circumstances, the obstacles are the lions. Give it your full back and give your full attention to that which it is that you desire. Focus on that which it is that you desire. Alright? And you will have it. It has no choice because that is the law. Alright? I am B Floss to God. Peace and love.